Hello guys, happy Monday. Hope you all had a beautiful weekend. I'm jumping on today and I'm going to be talking about awakening, and there's so many layers to this. So just if you're joining live, if you're watching the replay, I would love you to share what you are experiencing at this time. We're in the Great Awakening and what this looks like for you, I'm going to share with you a little bit of my journey in the last 6 months. And I've been called to talk about this topic. It's come up in my meditation for the last I don't know how many weeks. And when you just resist things, and for me it's all about the timing and feeling in alignment, and I have not felt in alignment, so I'm telling you truthfully today how I've been feeling, totally not myself, and going through an awakening. And I just feel ready now to come out the other side, and with this wisdom that I have learned on my journey, and what I've received as well, the information I've received. So I'm sure you all know, or if you don't know already, that we are in what it's called as the Great Awakening. And this is basically, in the most simplest way to put it, because there's I could talk for hours on it, but this is where the consciousness is rising in every human on this earth. So there is no choice to rise. It's happening no matter what. So what I mean by that, you may have seen a while ago, I shared about moving from 3D consciousness to 5D. And in the simplest way to put that is 3D is like a narrow mind. It's material mind. It's limited thinking. It's the way that we've basically been conditioned in this world to believe that we're not what we are, and to believe that we are just this human body. So my awakening basically began, I think back, there's many layers of awakening, and we continue to awaken in layers, but when I think back to when I was in London and partying and living that kind of lifestyle, my body started to show me in physical ways that it could not cope any longer with what I was doing. And when I came back home, I would say I went on an awakening then. It was an awakening to really honor my body and start to look at ways that I could support myself emotionally and physically, and changing my diet, changing my lifestyle. And I had to do a whole reset of my body. So it's I went through this complete reset. I was also soul searching for my mission. What was I here for? What was, what did I want to do? And through that time, it was a very interesting, dark time. And so these times of awakening normally are, and I'm going to talk about some things that normally are common experiences of awakening. And say hi if you are joining live. Hi Lana, thanks for joining. And so this put me on that path of soul searching, of going within and going, what do I actually want out of this? What do I want out of life? And that's where I was led to do my yoga teacher training. So it was pretty amazing, actually, the discovery that's when I started journaling for probably the first time in my life. And that was, nearly over 10 years ago, maybe. I forget the timing, but that doesn't matter. And I would journal, and I would have ideas come up of this is what I want to do, this is what I want to do, and then journal, and then that would change and shift, and then eventually I arrived at, I want to be a yoga teacher. And for me, I felt like that was so far away, but it came a lot quicker, and it happened a lot quicker. And I remember at my yoga teacher training, they were talking about we are a spirit having a human experience. Tell me if you've heard that saying before. And at that time, that was quite new to me. It was like, yeah, I get it, but I don't get it. So that's what I mean, the layers of awakening. It was like still my consciousness was not quite ready for that information, although I understood it to a point. So it was quite interesting just to look back on that journey. And then so things that happen for awakening, some of the common things is a shift into like, you're not in the right job. This is not working out for you. If you're not loving what you're doing, if you're not waking up happy to go to work, then there's an awakening there. Something's got to shift. Something's got to happen. And sometimes it happens and like you're just made redundant, or, you know, it naturally happens. And then you're forced to look within and go, what do I actually want to do? What lights me up? So, you know, these are triggers that can happen to basically go, wake up. You need to change something. So that's what I'm talking about today. These things that are happening now more and more, and they're going to increase. That's why I feel called to talk about this. It's going to increase for people. Tell me if you feel like you're in an awakening now, because we basically all are. So if you're not in the right job, if you're not in the right relationship, if you're not doing things aligned in every kind of way, in every area of your life, there's going to be a wake up. And however that comes is however it's meant to come for you. And everyone's shifting at their own speed. There's no rush, but everyone has their own journey. And when they awaken, you know, is their own path. So it's not about rushing, but there is a little bit of a push, and that the quicker that we can shift consciousness in the whole of humanity, the faster that we can move into this beautiful world of light. Like, that's something else I need to talk about on another day. So other things, relationships, as I said, like relationships with anyone, family, friends, colleagues, you know, if you come into arguments, know that that's an awakening for you. That's lessons for you to look within and go, how can I deal with this, and more like with more compassion. And I'm all about the forgiveness there. That is like change your life when you can look at a situation, you can look at someone and you can forgive them for no matter what they've done. That is a way to grow faster than you can even imagine. So if there's any areas in your life, if there's any people that you're feeling anger towards, resentment, pain, anything, take a look within and see what you can do to just have compassion for whatever they're going through. That's what they're going through, and it's not about you. It's not about you when someone's attacking you. It's just your lesson. It's just coming up as a mirror to see what you need to see within. So money, like believing that, you know, we are limited in money and abundance and everything, like that's pretty much the conditioning that we've been through. So an awakening into realizing like you have the choice and you're in control of your abundance. Getting sick, so that's kind of the journey I've just been through, like getting sick, getting an illness, pain in the body, all these things are waking you up, because they're going, okay, what do I need to change here? So for me, it was tummy issues, nausea, and all these things are Ascension symptoms as well. So just know I'll talk a little bit about that. Ascension symptoms are like things that are coming up because our body is shifting consciousness, our body is shifting into more light. So in order to do that, we have to bring up the heaviness, we have to bring up the darkness, we have to shift that and transmute it into light. So it can feel like, you know, your body's detoxing basically. So it's what my body's been doing. And it's like I went back to that time in London where I felt like my body had completely broken down. And, you know, for me, that's an extreme, because I'm used to feeling really good, you know, apart from obviously when we go through this ascension and the moons and things that affect my energy. But I have this normal of like, I feel good like this. So I really know when I'm out of alignment. And so a lot of people would just carry on with this kind of pain in their tummy, a little bit of nauseousness, headaches and things like that. But for me, I'm like, whoa, what's going on? And then my skin started to come out in an infection. And that's what happened when I was back in London. I was like, wow, this is really interesting for someone that, you know, thinks I'm really healthy. I obviously need to look at things in a different light. And so it just awakened me to like, okay, I'm not actually doing everything I could be doing. What do I need to change? So I've found many things that can change now, and so I started to do that and bring my body back into balance. And it's been a process, it's been a journey. I feel like I'm finally, feeling myself again, feeling more in alignment. So it'll shift you into looking at, like for me, even one of the things I'm going to do is go organic. Like I'm going to buy organic veggies no matter what. Whereas before I'd be a little bit between spray free and organic, not fully, but now I'm fully committed to organic because I just can't trust the sources, and the toxins and things. But I'm also always doing cleansing of my body. Like every day I do things that help to cleanse my body. It's really important to do that, but also protect your body. Losing someone close, this cracks open the heart chakra. Although it's awful, it's an awakening, and it again sends you into this place of deep emotion. And emotion is an awakening. When you have that deep emotion release, you are going through an awakening. You're clearing the old. Anything like a car accident or similar, it's like a smack in the face, like wake up, there's something you need to change. Again, it's just part of this process. Depression, as I sort of said, the emotional, like getting it. I felt at times in the last 6 months that I was depressed, and I know I've been there before, so I know how to get myself out of it. And if I got that low, I'm like, right, what do I need to do in this moment to shift myself? And I have amazing tools that support me for that. But it's a common collective thing as well. The fear, the anxiety, I've felt that as well, and again, it's just another way to go within and go, what do I need to change here? How can I be more in my body? We're being called to just be within, and the more that we can heal our internal world and love ourselves more and more deeply and accept ourselves, the more that we can shift everyone. So the work that we do on ourselves is helping to shift the whole collective. It's powerful. So the consciousness is rising from, like, we are shifting basically all of it's deep. We're shifting our ancestors, our past lives, everyone that's come before us. We are here now to do this work, and the work that we are doing is not only shifting us, like I said, in the whole of humanity here that is on earth, but our ancestors and everyone that's come before us. So past lives that we've been through. And so what you may notice through this time is old things, old experiences, old programs coming up. So there's been some really deep shadow phases, and in that time I felt like my mind was constantly going, I am not enough, I am not enough, I am not enough. And so just know that if you're going through that, it's a phase and we can get ourselves out of it. I was like, wow, what has happened? Because I'm pretty conscious of my mind mostly, I do my practices to help that with me. Now I've been called to meditate for an hour instead of like 20 minutes. So an hour a day is my general now, if I can, it's mostly. And so this dark stuff is not only our own stuff that's coming up, it's collective, it's ancestral, it's past life. So just take a moment to honor yourself and know that it's deep and it's heavy, and and it can feel really hard and difficult, and you want to check out, because I've had many times where I said, I'm done. Like, why are we here? What am I doing this for? But I'm telling you that it is worth it. This journey is worth it, and we have so much to look forward to. We have so much light that we are moving into as we shift into this higher consciousness. It's an exciting time to be alive. So if you need that reminder now, I needed it. I received it from many people as I was going through it. I'm giving this to you now so that it can help you if you are feeling in the dark. And it's okay. Know that the dark, you are okay, and you will get out of it. We have to go through this dark to transmute it into light. And we're doing this for the collective. So also what's been happening too is like lessons coming back up. So there's two ways. Like that I see it, lessons can come up again and again if you're not listening to them. So commonly we can push it away. Like, let's say it's just something like you need to change job, you know it's not aligned, but you push it away because you go, oh well, it's the only way I'm going to make money, and it's the only way I'm going to survive, and only way. That's a 3D mind when you say that. Whereas if you were to surrender to that message of, okay, I need to change job, open up, what's the next step I can take to change job, and trust that you will be fully supported on that path. Because the more that you align on your path, the more that you'll be supported. So we're no longer going to be living in this world where we're doing things that we don't want to do. It's all about living in love, living in what you are here for. We are all here for a purpose. So it's an awakening. Everything will be shifting you if you're not already living your purpose and in full alignment with every area of your life. Then everything will be nudging you, shifting you into alignment, into learning, like people coming onto your path that teach you, healers, anyone that you can, that can support you. I really do recommend like having friends, having people that you can talk to on this level. And that's why I run circles, and that's why I use Cacao and tools like that to help me through this time and through these experiences, and to be more connected to my intuition, because it's busy out there. It's really hard sometimes to quieten down the mind and go within when it just feels like there's so much chaos. I mean, the shifting of the planets and everything, there's just so many layers to it. So just know that, the Ascension symptoms, so I want to tap into, and this is with the shifting of the planets, this is with the full moon, the new moon, going through solstice, we've been through rebirth, like there's just so many layers to it. And this is where our bodies are all getting upgrades. So when we sleep, we're receiving these upgrades. It's pretty incredible actually when you understand all of this. And so your dream time is a powerful time. It's amazing to remember your dreams. I do, but I'm still yet to really tap into the meaning. I just tune into what am I meant to receive from that, and may get a message, I may not. To the Ascension is like, feeling fatigue, feeling headaches, feeling digestive issues, which is what I've had, nauseousness, dizziness is really common, just tired, needing to sleep a lot more. I've been needing to sleep a lot more, and just honoring that and enjoying it. And it's winter, so it's winter in New Zealand, so I enjoy that time to just rest more. Tell me if you've had any Ascension symptoms different to what I've said, because I can't remember them all off the top of my head, but things like headaches, anything like that in the body, it's shifting, pain in the body, joints, aches, all those things, like it's just part of this shift that we are collectively going through. So know that these things come up, but it's a message as well to go, okay, is there a way that I can look at my lifestyle and the way that I'm eating and change that? Is there anything I can change? Like drinking pure water, I cannot highly recommend enough. Like that is number one thing you need to be doing, is drink pure water. I have for so long now, like I refuse to drink tap water because it's just full of crap in my mind. And yeah, pure water is going to help awaken your pineal gland as well. So if you do want to shift faster, there's things that you can do, like drink pure water. Definitely eat more clean foods. You can see this movement of awakening that started years and years ago, but also in the collective of like getting rid of plastic bags and things like that have shifted us into a new level of consciousness. There's also like I'm doing the sexual awakening. Like for me, I went through a sexual awakening, and then now, I'm teaching that because this is a layer, this is a part of what we've been blocking, so every area of your life needs to be looked at and realigned. And if you are not tapped into your sexual energy and your sexual power, then you're going to be called at the time that's right for you. You may be working on something else, but at some point you'll be called to look at that, and how we can shift the way we look at sex and the way we look at relationships and love. Like there's an awakening on how relationships are, how love is, it's all like there's a new way of living in these relationships, and it's all comes back to, of course, the inner work. So that's the main thing that you need to be doing. Now, to support this rising, this awakening, is to, like the main things I said, be drinking pure water, looking at your foods, eating as pure as you can, like cutting out all the processed foods and sugar and crap, and getting out in nature, like actually getting your feet grounded daily on the earth. Or if you can't do that, sitting or touching a tree, that's just as powerful. And receiving, because what we're doing there is we are harmonizing our energetic frequency with the earth, and we're receiving the healing and the connection and having gratitude. So you know that there was a movement years ago of gratitude, and again, this is not old. Having gratitude, being thankful for the earth, thankful for everything that we've got, the food, and especially in New Zealand, I always say, like, we're so lucky here. So yeah, what we're doing is realizing and remembering that we are energetic light beings of love. And that's all you need to remember, is that we are energy. And the more that we can work on our energy body and come back to love, the more powerful that we can be. We are multidimensional light beings. I mean, this is beyond some people's minds sometimes. Like, I mean, it's taken me time to really understand, and it still is. Like, I'm still learning to really practice activating more and more of our inner light. That is another practice of coming into, once we all come into this place of light, and that's like coming into a collective place of love. It looks like we've got a long way to go, right? When we look at the whole collective of the world, it's huge. We've still got a lot of people what we would call asleep. And that means that they're just still on the path of the old narrative of watching news, believing the stories, believing everything outside of them, and they're not going within and trusting their own inner guidance. So for me, it's been years of seeking truth and just knowing that, no, this is not quite right. What else can I do here? This is not quite right. What else is, possible? And, that started with, like I said, like looking at my lifestyle, looking at foods, looking at how I could support my emotions and everything. And it just, and knowing that there's always a way for me to do it myself. There's always a way to heal naturally. There's always a way to move through something. So yeah, I'd love to hear your experience on this and any questions. Again, like, we're all learning. We're all on this journey together. I'm just sharing my insights and my personal experience. And it's just a time that we are being called to come together, and we are all one consciousness. And the faster that we can do that and understand that and know that when we are shifting ourselves, we are shifting the whole collective. So, like, if you've been called to meditate more, like, do those things and know that it's about the more that you can be and not be in your masculine of doing so much, that has a lot more power. So it's another collective awakening that we are going through, is shifting from this masculine way of living, of doing, of being in action, having to-do lists, thinking we need to be doing to achieve, into, okay, like, if we relax into this and we tune into ourselves and we receive the inner guidance, we be in alignment and in flow, and we be in touch with our emotional body, and just be more in your body. That is the message here, to be in your body. And that's why I'm feeling also called to support people on their journey of embodiment. That is to be in your body, to be connected with your body, with your heart. We are all being called to get out of the head and into our heart, to practice, being in the heart and listening to our heart. That is our inner guidance. So yeah, if you come along, like, if you want to connect further, I offer one-on-one support. I do cacao ceremonies in Tauranga, other online work, and I've got online courses that are amazing for your journey. And I highly recommend adding Ceremonial cacao to your journey. Like, it's there for everyone to help your awakening, to help get in your body, to help connect deeply with your intuition and your heart. It's a heart expander. So imagine, like, I just visualize everyone drinking cacao, and the difference that we would create in this world would be amazing. And that's coming. It's coming. So if you have not yet tapped into that medicine, it's a beautiful plant medicine. I will be sharing more on that in the coming days or weeks as well. So anyway, I will leave you there, and I hope you enjoyed today's chat on awakening. And as I said, just tell me, what are you feeling? What are you receiving through this? And what's shifting for you in this time? Have a beautiful day. Lots of love to you all. Thanks for watching.